Stop being so damn agreeable, especially at work. Your nice is costing you. Do you think being agreeable will get you ahead, or are you just afraid of what happens when you disagree? Here's what no one tells you. Your agreeableness isn't helping your career, it's sabotaging it. Do you find yourself nodding along in meetings when you have better ideas? Do you take on extra work because you can't bring yourself to say it's not your responsibility? Do you bite your tongue when someone takes credit for your work because confrontation feels scarier than being overlooked? Your niceness is costing you money, respect, and opportunities, and it's time we talked about why. Today, we're dismantling the myth that being agreeable equals being professional and giving you the tools to command respect without becoming a jerk. We're covering 5 game changers. First, what the science actually says about agreeableness and success. Second, why being liked and being respected are 2 very different things. Third, how assertiveness is a learnable skill, not a fixed personality trait. Fourth, the strategic power of a well-placed no. And fifth, how every interaction teaches people exactly how to treat you. 1. The science of agreeableness. Studies show highly agreeable people earn less. Let's start with some uncomfortable facts. Research consistently shows that highly agreeable people, especially women, earn significantly less money over their careers. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that men who scored below average on agreeableness earned about $9,772 more per year than their more agreeable counterparts. For women, the gap was smaller, but still significant. Why does this happen? Because agreeable people don't negotiate. They don't push back when given unreasonable deadlines. They don't advocate for themselves during performance reviews. They don't question when they're passed over for promotions. They smile, nod, and accept whatever scraps are thrown their way. But here's the kicker. This isn't because agreeable people are less competent. It's because they've been socialized to believe that being accommodating is more important than being valued. They've confused being easy to work with for being good at their job. The workplace doesn't reward niceness. It rewards results and the ability to advocate for those results. It rewards people who can say, "Actually, I disagree in a meeting." It rewards people who can respond to unrealistic demands with, "That timeline doesn't work." Here's what's realistic. Your agreeableness might make you likable, but it's also making you invisible, underpaid, and undervalued. And the worst part, you're doing it to yourself. 2. Being liked does not equal being respected. Which one do you actually want? Here's a question that might make you uncomfortable. Would you rather be liked or respected? Because you probably can't have both all the time, and trying to achieve both simultaneously is what's keeping you stuck. Being liked means people enjoy your company, find you pleasant, and appreciate that you don't cause waves. Being respected means people value your opinion, trust your judgment, and consider you when making important decisions. Most agreeable people are addicted to being liked. They'll sacrifice their own needs, opinions, and boundaries to maintain that warm, fuzzy feeling of universal approval. But here's what they don't realize. People don't respect doormats. They use them. Think about the people you respect most in your workplace. Are they the ones who agree with everything? Or are they the ones who speak up when something doesn't make sense? Are they the ones who take on every project? Or are they the ones who are selective about their commitments? Are they the ones who avoid conflict? Or are they the ones who address problems directly? As Maya Angelou said, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. But most agreeable people skip the first part entirely. They never try to change anything because they're too busy trying to make everyone happy. Respect is earned through competence, consistency, and the courage to stand for something. Likability is earned through agreeableness and accommodation. You can optimize for both without sacrificing your effectiveness. 3. Assertiveness is a skill, not a personality trait practice. Polite boundaries. Good news. Assertiveness isn't something you're born with or without. It's a skill you can develop, just like any other professional competency. You can learn to advocate for yourself without becoming aggressive. You can learn to disagree without being disagreeable. Assertiveness is about stating your position clearly and standing behind it. It's about saying, "I see it differently," instead of staying silent. It's about responding to unreasonable requests with, "That won't be possible," instead of, "I'll try to make it work." Start small. Practice in low-stakes situations. When someone asks if you want to grab lunch and you don't say, "Thanks, but I'm going to pass today," instead of making up an elaborate excuse. When a coworker interrupts you in a meeting, say, "I'd like to finish my thought," instead of apologizing and shrinking back. The key is to be firm without being rude, clear without being harsh. You can disagree with someone's idea without attacking their character. You can advocate for yourself without putting others down. Practice phrases like, "I have a different perspective on this. That doesn't align with my current priorities. I'd like to propose an alternative approach. I'm not comfortable with that timeline." Notice how none of these are aggressive, but they're all assertive. They state your position without apologizing for having one. 4. The power of a well-placed no. Say it with clarity, not apology. Your no is one of the most powerful tools you have, but most agreeable people are afraid to use it. They think saying no makes them difficult, uncooperative, or unprofessional. But a strategic no can actually enhance your reputation and effectiveness. When you say no to everything, you become irrelevant. When you say yes to everything, you become overwhelmed and ineffective. But when you say no to the right things, you create space to excel at what matters most. The secret is in how you deliver it. "No, I can't take on that project right now because I'm focused on X, Y, and Z" is very different from, "Sorry, I just can't. I'm so overwhelmed. Maybe someone else?" Own your no. Deliver it with confidence. Explain your reasoning without apologizing for having priorities. "I won't be able to take that on because it would compromise the quality of my current projects," is a professional, strategic response. Steve Jobs was famous for saying no to thousands of good ideas so Apple could focus on the few great ones. He said, "Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things." Your career works the same way. You have to say no to good opportunities to make space for great ones. A well-placed no also signals that your yes means something. When people know you're selective about your commitments, they value your participation more when you do agree to something. 5. Train others how to treat you. Every yes teaches them your limits. Here's something most people don't realize. Every interaction you have is training others how to treat you. Every time you accept unreasonable demands, you're teaching people that your boundaries are flexible. Every time you take on work that isn't your responsibility, you're teaching people that you're available for whatever they don't want to do. You think you're being helpful, but you're actually being enabling. You're creating a dynamic where people expect you to be endlessly accommodating, and then you resent them for treating you exactly how you taught them to treat you. If you always say yes to last-minute meetings, people will keep scheduling last-minute meetings with you. If you always take on extra work without pushback, people will keep dumping extra work on you. If you never speak up when you disagree, people will stop asking for your opinion. The good news is that you can retrain people, but it requires consistency. You can set a boundary once and expect it to stick. You have to reinforce it every time it's tested. When someone sends you a meeting invite for 5 p.m. on Friday, respond with, "I'm not available for meetings after 4 p.m. on Fridays." Could we reschedule for Monday? When someone asks you to take on a project that's clearly outside your role, say, that sounds like something for the X team. Have you checked with them? Oprah Winfrey said, you teach people how to treat you by what you allow, what you stop, and what you reinforce. Most agreeable people focus only on what they allow and forget about the stopping and reinforcing parts. All right, time for some tough love that's going to sting, but ultimately set you free. You're not a doormat, but if you act like one, don't be shocked when people wipe their shoes on you. Your agreeableness isn't making you a good person. It's making you a resentful person. You're not being professional. You're being a pushover. You're not being helpful. You're being an enabler. You think you're avoiding conflict, but you're actually creating it. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you build resentment. Every time you don't speak up when you disagree, you let problems fester. Every time you accept treatment you don't like, you guarantee you'll get more of it. Stop calling it politeness when it's really just fear. Stop calling it teamwork when it's really just people-pleasing. Stop calling it professionalism when it's really just an inability to advocate for yourself. Your career isn't suffering because you're not good enough. It's suffering because you're not brave enough to show people how good you are. You're not being overlooked because you lack talent. You're being overlooked because you've made yourself invisible. The people getting promoted around you aren't necessarily smarter or more skilled. They're just better at advocating for themselves. They're not afraid to disagree, to push back, to say no when something doesn't make sense. Your niceness is not an asset if it comes at the expense of your effectiveness, your advancement, and your self-respect. Here's your assignment for the next 24 hours. Say no to something that's out of alignment with your priorities or values. No apology, no lengthy explanation, just a clear, professional no. It might be a meeting request, an extra project, or a favor someone asks. Practice owning your decision without defending it to death. Your career is waiting for you to stop being so damn agreeable and start being undeniably valuable. If this video made you realize you've been playing too small at work, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're building a community of people who refuse to settle for being liked when they could be respected. Drop a comment and tell me, what's one thing you're going to say no to this week? Let's practice advocating for ourselves together. Remember, you're not broken, you're untrained, and assertiveness is a skill you can develop starting today. Until next time, stop being so agreeable and start being undeniably effective.